Hi, welcome to Yummie's Country Cooking. Today I will be making for you stew beef, and thank you so much for joining me today. With my ingredients, I'm going to use 1.5 pounds of stew beef, flour, garlic, dash, smoked pepper, garlic powder, tomato bouillon chicken powder, basil leaves, some salt, some pepper, and we're going to use some chunky diced tomatoes with chives. We have potatoes, my onions, my bell peppers of different colors, my carrots, and my celery. So, let's get started. And once again, I do appreciate you guys for watching my videos. Thank you so much for the thumbs up, for the likes, and thank you most of all for subscribing to my channel. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do, and I do have olive oil. I have that on the stove. I put about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in my pot. So we're just going to lay this off, and it is heating up right now. Okay, first thing we're going to do, and I do see something that I need to get done right quick that I need to do. I left that. Okay, I try not to have any fat, so I cut all the fat off. I don't know how I got that little piece right there on there. But I try to get the stew beef with the less fat as possible. Now, I must say that if you don't want to use stew beef, you can use chuck roast. You can take a chuck roast and cut up a chuck roast. So first thing we're going to do, I've already got it washed and drained. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my original salt-free seasoning. You guys know I love that salt-free seasoning. That way you can use as much as you want to use, however you like it, okay? Once we use that, we're going to go with our garlic powder. Put as much as you want on it, however you like it, okay? Then we're going to go with some basil. I can put that much on it, okay? Once we do the basil, then I'm going to use about a teaspoonful of the tomato bouillon chicken flavor. Okay, I'm gonna add a little salt and a little pepper. Not a lot of salt, because I'm gonna use some broth. So that broth is going to kind of put a salt taste to it anyway. Now I'm going to use my flour. Just gonna sprinkle it in there. Around a little bit. Try to get a little flour on all of it, all over. Here we go. All right. Okay. I'm not trying to braid it. I'm not doing fried chicken, so I'm not trying to put a lot of flour on it. I just want it to kind of, so that it would kind of brown a little bit. That's all we're going to do. Now, we're going to take this and we're going to put it in the pan, in my Dutch pot. And it's all ready. Turn my stove up a little bit. It's already hot. See the oil. Okay, and we just try not to add it so close together, because you don't want it to. You're not trying to make gravy right now, and it'll start bubbling if you put too much. So we're just gonna kind of just lay it in there, and I'm just gonna kind of just let it cook for maybe 5 minutes on the first side. We're going to let the hear sizzling so we know the pan is nice and hot. Okay. Okay, let's try it. Let's flip it over. Okay. All right, we're going to put this over here. A little crust on the top of the meat. There we go. Yeah. That's gonna be yummy. And I don't want it to cook too much, so you notice that I cooked it 5 minutes on the first side. I'm not gonna cook it 5 minutes on the next side. I'm only gonna cook it about 3 minutes because I still want it to be, I just want to coat the top and the bottom, that's all. Okay, so we got this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to let this go ahead and cook. Then I'll take it out and I'll refinish until I get all of my beef cooked. And once I get that cooked, I'll be back. Okay, I got my stew beef. It's all ready. You see, it's still kind of medium. It's rare inside. I just wanted to kind of brown it on both sides, so that's done. Now I'm just going to put that to the side. The next thing we're going to do, I have some oil in my pan. I'm just going to do that sizzle, put my onions in there, my peppers. And my celery stalks. And I did use some green onions, green peppers, and I did use some scallions. I'm going to take this and we're just going to kind of stir it around. And you see that, you see the base there? That's coming from the meat. That's going to give it a really good taste. Okay, we just kind of stir it around a little bit and let it cook. Okay, we're going to just let that, turn my stove up a little bit. I'm going to let that cook about 5 minutes. But isn't that pretty? Okay, I'll be back. I'm going to add a little bit more dash seasoning to it. Like I said, you use as much as you like. Okay? Now, I'm going to take my diced tomatoes with green chives. Put that in the pot. Just kind of mix it all together. The pot going. You guys, this stuff smells so good. Okay, now I'm going to add 2 cups of beef broth. And try to get the low sodium, please, if you can. Got my broth going on. Yummy. That looks like we're just gonna make some soup right now. Looks so good. I'm gonna let this come to a boil. And once it comes to a boil, then I'm going to add my meat and we'll go from there. Okay. I think it's ready for my meat. All right, now we're just going to take all of our meat and we're just going to pour our meat in there. We're going to make some good stew beef. Oh my goodness, look at that, guys. Don't that look good? Now what we're going to do is we're going to let this cook until it gets tender. And I would normally say an hour to an hour and a half, but I'm not going to do it that long this time. Maybe about an hour or less. We'll just watch the meat and see how long it takes for the meat to really start falling apart. Okay? Okay. I think it's ready. Guys, it took me an hour. I would say about an hour and 45 minutes to get this meat tender. Let's look at it. There we go. Doesn't that look delicious? Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put our potatoes and carrots in there. Oops, there go one on the floor. And what I may do, only thing I think that I will be doing, oh, by the way, I did add water. When I put the broth in there, I put 2 cups of beef broth, but I also added a cup of water. So now we're going to let the potatoes and the carrots, we're going to let them cook down. And I may throw in some green peas. I hadn't decided yet. But we're going to let that cook and see what happens. Hi, I'm back. And guess what? Our stew beef is all ready. And I did decide to put some green peas in the stew beef. So, let's look at it. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's put this one right here. Oh my goodness. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Does that look good? Let's get some meat. Say meat and potatoes. All right. Plenty potatoes. And we're going to get some meat. Just going to put some carrots in it. A little bit more meat. And you know that meat was a little bit tougher than what I thought it was. It actually took, basically to finish this complete meal, it was about 2 hours. Okay? Now, look at that. Just feast your eyes on that. Isn't that beautiful? Now, time for the taste. Let's just slide this aside here. And let's just dive right in. I need some water though, because it's hot. Ooh, wow, look at that. Let's try this with the meat. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. Let's get a small bite, small pieces, because I don't want it to burn my lips or my tongue. Okay, so you got your gravy. And we didn't have to make gravy. We didn't have to take flour and water and mix it up and thicken it. We didn't have to take cornstarch. All we did is we just basted our meats. By basting the meat, I gave it a nice gravy. Here we go. It is hot. When I say hot, I mean steaming hot. That meat melts in your mouth. It's absolutely delicious, guys. Let's try a little bit, a little piece. You know, guys, when I get started, I don't know why to stop. Okay. Now that's yummy to my tummy. Very yummy. Try my recipe. You can season it how you want it. Okay, so you don't really have to go by how much I use. Season it to your taste. But I will finish this later. I promise you. Meanwhile, guys, you know, I always like to leave you with something. And today, what I would like to say is, you know, we must be good enough to admit our mistakes and smart enough to profit from them and strong enough to correct them. So that's what I would like to leave you with today. Please subscribe to Yummie's, that's YUMMIES, Country Cooking. Bye-bye. Yummie's Country Cooking. Try this delicious stew beef. You've got a whole meal all in one. Enjoy.